From the forum posting enthusiasts to generational talent, these are the 7 levels of PvPers in World of Warcraft. Starting with level 1, the complete noob. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a noob in any game. At the end of the day, the definition of noob is a new player, and with participation going down every season, they are a vital population to the health of the game. Newbies encompasses everything from players who are just now making their very first character to people trying out PvP for the very first time, playing strictly for fun without any clear set of goals or ambitions. But for those who are setting their sights on achievements, being a noob in PvP can be pretty brutal. In case you haven't seen this new series by Flawed PvP on YouTube, definitely check it out. He's currently documenting his road to Gladiator as someone who is just now playing PvP for the first time, and he's learning firsthand how difficult WoW actually is. In episode 2, he learns about honor gear after getting absolutely stomped for the first time in BGs, admitting that he didn't even know this gear had existed until his brother pointed it out. And even if these players do know that PvP gear exists, they might ignore the trinket set bonus, or be completely unaware that you can convert honor gear into tier sets. It's easy to forget how complicated WoW actually is these days if you've been playing for multiple years. If you ever encounter a noob in the wild, be like Venruki here, who found a player in Shadowlands named Diggity Doug that didn't even know about covenants. He then spent the next few hours giving Doug some advice on how to progress his character. The natural progression of many noobs includes playing Battlegrounds, where you find your second level of PvPer. The BG Enthusiast is the natural predator of many noobs, hunting them down in the midfield of every map. At this level, players have a more polished understanding of the game as a whole, especially its systems. They know the difference between honor and conquest, and are always fully loaded with bloody tokens to fill out their slots. A BG Enthusiast will also have a better understanding of their class and will know the fundamentals of their rotation, even taking the additional step of making classic Swifty one-shot macros to blast someone down in Warsong Gulch. To the BG Enthusiast, PvP is just a vehicle to stomp noobs. They're not too invested in solo shuffle, and they might even avoid BG blitz. Raiding doesn't matter to them nearly as much as topping killing blows and beating pre-mates. They're also the types of players who love using every consumable possible, whether it's goblin gliders or the various knocks you can buy in Dornegal that send players flying across the entire map. You'll often find these players on the PvP forums complaining about Marks Hunters and telling arena players to L2P. At level 3, we have Rewards Chasers, which includes a good chunk of players. For many people, WoW is a giant collection game, and their goal is to get everything, literally, from mounts to pets, toys, and of course, transmog. If you've ever looked at arena rating distribution, you will notice a massive spike at 1800, and this is no accident. Rival is the benchmark for unlocking those sweet elite sets every season, and a Rewards Chaser is completely content with grinding their rating up to this point. No more, no less. Players like this are generally altaholics whose goal is to get every single elite set on every single class every season. And once they've gotten 1800 on one character, they'll just swap to the next. And then will be eager to post about their achievements on sites like Reddit. Unlike noobs and BG enthusiasts, Rewards Chasers are the type of players who will look up guides and will even watch streams, but are simply looking for the path of least resistance. They're completely happy with going to a website, pressing the Copy Talents button, and then importing it onto their character, never swapping builds until the next season. Despite this, Rewards Chasers generally have a good understanding of PvP fundamentals. They have a more polished understanding of their rotation, and even have a basic understanding of strategies, like knowing combining damage and CC is the win condition for most comps. While it might seem trivial to some, getting 1800 is more impressive than some people realize, since it means being in the top 30% of the solo shuffle population. We think there's a lot of unrealized potential here, since getting Rival clearly means you have some technical understanding of the game, and many of these players could probably push it a lot further if they tried. In fact, we think that players at level 3 and level 4 are in the perfect sweet spot, having the ability to improve super fast. You can kind of think of it like newbie gains at the gym. With the right direction, many level 3 and level 4 players could see some rapid improvement. This is exactly what we promise at Skillcapped, where we have a 400 rating gain guarantee around these levels. That's right, we actually promise to deliver results or you get a full refund. We do this by offering the largest collection of PvP guides on the entire internet. And instead of needing to scour the internet, sifting through outdated information from questionable players, we teach the core concepts needed to actually improve, divided up into easy-to-follow, bite-sized videos. And if you want personalized help with your gameplay, we offer every member one free VOD review every month. Next up at level 4, we have Skill Grinders, which includes players with more ambitious goals. These are players who don't mind getting elite sets, weapon illusions, tabards, and more, but are mainly focused on one thing: gaining that sweet arena rating. Instead of stopping once they hit a specific benchmark, a skill grinder is always trying to push themselves even further. They're definitely on the more competitive side, wanting nothing more than to increase their rating every week. Because of this, they might hyper-focus on playing one class at a time, and are more likely to have a dedicated main. This detail matters because skill grinders truly want to learn the ins and outs of whatever class they're playing at the time. Sure, they might import builds too, but will then go to the additional step of learning what each talent actually does, knowing how and when to swap them in every lobby. We'll discuss this in level 5, but there's a big distinction between gaining knowledge of your class and knowledge of PvP, and at level 4, understanding your class is more of a priority. This means spending time hitting the target dummy, perfecting burst rotations, or checking details after a game to compare damage. Skill grinders want to learn the finer details of PvP, and they really hone into the idea of scripted PvP. This means understanding the flow of each game and recognizing game states. At this level, games are no longer random and chaotic, but are starting to become organized and predictable. It's this type of knowledge which is needed to push to Duelist and beyond. Skill grinders might also heavily focus on the mechanical side of PvP, taking pride in having fast reactions, being quick to kick a cast, or instantly CCing someone on their cooldowns. The skill grinder takes everything they've learned in PvP up to this point and increase the precision and intensity. Skill grinders will even have different priorities when watching streams. Sure, they might care about being entertained, but they're also paying closer attention to the minor details, taking notes on strategies being used at the highest level, and even studying how a player uses their globals. A skill grinder might even go the additional step of VOD reviewing their own gameplay or having someone else review their gameplay for them. They understand that in order to improve, they need to learn from their own mistakes. This process is crucial since one weakness of players at this level is a struggle to improvise. Despite PvP being scripted, sometimes things go wrong and you need to readjust your strategy. This could include swapping on defensives or even becoming better at recognizing when your healer is in CC. If you want to get to the next level, you have to be a bit flexible. The ultimate goal of many skill grinders is to make it to level 5, where you will find gladiators, legends, and even many rank 1s. For many players, these achievements are the ultimate chase rewards in PvP, adding a sense of legitimacy to their profiles online. In order to get to level 5, you need to make the important jump in understanding that learning to play PvP is just as important as learning your class. What this means is developing a deeper understanding of the small interactions in the game itself. Instead of knowing to trade CDs at the sound of an air horn, a level 5 player might recognize other situations where a cooldown trade is necessary. They might pay closer attention to their raid frames, noticing when their healer is in CC and what cooldowns they have available. Based on this information, a level 5 player can improvise and adapt to the situation at hand. All of this is separate from learning your class, and level 5 players already understand the ins and outs of each one of their characters, knowing exactly how their build works and even being able to construct builds of their own. Having a deeper understanding of PvP itself allows them to have a completely different experience watching streams. When they watch the AWC, they can know with a quick glance at everyone's cooldowns who's winning in the moment, knowing who is and isn't vulnerable, and predicting what teams might win in the next 30 seconds. A level 5 player can do this consistently without even playing the classes they see on screen. It's no wonder that the current lineup of AWC casters are all current or former rank 1 players. WoW is a tricky game to follow, and you need intricate game knowledge to do it right. And speaking of the AWC, this is where we'll find our next level players. The teams who battle it out on the official Warcraft broadcast are clearly very good at the game. Many of them have been playing for a long time and have had the luxury of finding established teammates to play with every season. To get to this level, fine-tuning is definitely needed. Level 6 players rarely make major mistakes. They trade cooldowns perfectly, make effective swaps, kick the right casts, and rarely choke under pressure. Much of this is facilitated by effective communication. If you want to win a tournament, you need to win the social game too. Players at this level are also ridiculously fast, and this is apparent when Peekaboo smurfs at lower ratings. Compared to everyone else, it looks like he's playing at 2 times the speed. And these days, competing in tournaments requires you to play multiple specs and classes at a gladiator or rank 1 level. With blind picks, map selection, and counter comps, you need to bring multiple threats to the bracket if you want to win. And speaking of AWC winners, this is our final level, including players with generational talent. In the words of Tyler 1, some people are simply built different. In every game, there is always a massive gap between the people who play in tournaments and those who actually win. There's a reason why Faker is considered the GOAT of League of Legends, or why there was once a 5 gods era of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Even though these players might be competing against the best talent in the world, they can still come out on top. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it takes to make it to level 7, but at the core, it's probably game sense. While this might sound like spiritual nonsense, having great game sense requires you to be completely in tune with the game. A player like Waz knows exactly how to carve out a win condition at any moment in the game. He doesn't just know what the next 10 seconds of the game will look like, but even the next minute and beyond. It's the type of intuition you see in games like chess, where a single player can beat multiple opponents while blindfolded. Anyway, we hope you learned more about what it takes to progress as a player these days. And if you want to level up in PvP, we condense literally everything you need to know in one place, saving you an insane amount of time with thousands of videos organized into courses for every class. while only working with the best and most experienced players in the game. And if you want personalized help with your gameplay, we offer every member one free VOD review every month. We even help you set up your UI with the click of a button, avoiding all those headaches of configuring all those add-ons. Everything we offer is backed up by a rating gain guarantee where we promise to deliver results or your money back. So if you want to save time and hit your goals fast, be sure to use the exclusive discount link below to get started. For now, we want to thank you all for watching. See you soon.